let's talk about Wayne's World 2. So Wayne's World 2 is, of course, the sequel to this actually came out in 1993. The end is a sequel to 1992's Wayne's World. And this, of course, once again seems Wade and Garth as they try to throw a concert. They're actually going to try to throw like a Woodstock type festival concert called Waynestock. And, of course, Wayne, being kind of a doof, he sort of says that he's doing, or he comes up with this idea because he gets visited by Jim Morrison and like a half-naked Indian. And yeah, I will say, the like half-naked Indianness of it all, like this guy right there, the half-naked Indian of it all is not the most PC thing, and definitely feels of its time. I don't know who Jim Morrison is. There are a lot of rock and rollers who are playing themselves, though, so I imagine that this might be a guy. But I don't know, like, it was just, interesting to sort of, like, watch and see this happen. And of course, Cassandra's still there, and Wayne, does his usual shenanigans of sort of botching the relationship with her, and you actually have Garth. He falls in love and starts dating, what's her name? And starts dating Kim, whatever, Vicky Vale from the Michael Keaton Batman movie. So it was sort of nice to kind of like have Garth go through a mini arc. You also have Wayne going through a mini arc as he discovers that it isn't about the fact that he doesn't really know what to do with his life. It's just the idea that he can do something with his life, and that's kind of neat, especially compared to the fact that I didn't necessarily like how not movie-y the first film was. The first film didn't really feel like a movie. It just felt like a bunch of jokes sort of strung together by a plot. This one does try to give Wayne and Garth a bit of character development, like I said, and it doesn't really work, and it most certainly sort of falls in the same trappings of just a nonsensical comedy. Like, there's this roadie guy that they have to go meet, who Jim Morrison says, like, hey, you gotta go meet this guy, because he worked with all of the greats, he will help you. His name is, let's see if I can find him. He's, well, he was in Alien 3, but he's, the pilot in the original, or in, the Phantom Menace. Whatever his name is. I'm not seeing him, like, offhand here. Conrad. No, that's not him. Well, whatever his name is. He's in this, and he just very much is, like, there, and, like, he seems to be very shifty, but the joke is that he's shifty, like, that, and there's no real sort of, like, aha, he was actually this the entire time, and that kind of stinks. But no, like, I actually laughed out loud to a lot of jokes. There are some surprise celebrity cameos here. James Hong, he is Mr. Ping in the Kung Fu Panda movies. He plays Cassandra's dad, and he's great in this. There's actually, like, a really funny, like, when we first meet him, there's actually, like, a really funny joke regarding him. Like, there are some actual jokes that made me laugh in this movie compared to the first movie, where the first movie was just, like, a really iconic movie that and, like, the Bohemian Rhapsody sequence was, like, really funny and, like, really good, but, like, I've seen that before, like, on TikTok. Not a lot of people talk about Wayne's World, and I will say, I actually think that Wayne's World 2, the plot of this movie where they go and try to throw a concert, honestly, I think should have been and it's sort of interesting how you can compare these. Should have been the plot to, I think, Blues Brothers 2000, where instead of just doing the first movie again, it should have been about Elwood throwing a concert, maybe in honor of his brother, and called it Jake Stock. Although at that point it would be a little like you're ripping off Wayne's World. I don't know. It's just sort of interesting to think like, oh, this is actually doing something. It's not doing a lot, and it most certainly is a just funny movie that I think you need to like watch and laugh at. But I don't know, like, I'd rather a funny movie with a little bit of heart thrown in there than just a funny movie with a bunch of iconic moments. So I do prefer Wayne's World 2 more than Wayne's World. But yeah, and I talked last time about how Wayne's World feels like a movie that I'm just going to show people. You know, I'm not really going to go back. And I probably will pop in this every once in a while to watch that Bohemian Rhapsody song or, you know, scene. But Wayne's World 2 feels like a movie that I would actually like sit down and watch. And plus, it also has Chris Farley in a more prominent role as Milton. And I like Chris Farley. You know, I grew up with Beverly Hills Ninja. So yeah, it's nice. Yeah, this is a good movie. I think they're probably Wayne's World 1 and 2 are probably about equal. I both gave them like 3.5 stars on Letterboxd. And yeah, I think they're both good. So remember that God, He made you special. He loves you very much. So hope you have a very lovely day. Hope you had a very lovely week as always. God bless, and I love you.